Welcome back to The Awakening. I'm Father Justin Waltz, and in this episode, we're going to cover the sacred seal over the sacrament of reconciliation and the confession of sins. Now, long before a man is ever ordained, before he ever even hears his first confession, he knows well that if he breaks the seal of the sacrament of reconciliation, he will lose his priesthood in the church because he will be excommunicated. That's how serious it is. And if he doesn't break it, he may lose his freedom in the country that he lives in. Even today, priests are persecuted for the seal of the sacrament of reconciliation all over the world. And the bishops of the world, unanimous response is, we will die before we break the seal of the sacrament of reconciliation and the confession of sins. Now, as we begin, to be clear, the sacrament of reconciliation is not spiritual direction. In spiritual direction, the priest is in fact a mandatory reporter like every other therapist. But if one is in the sacrament of reconciliation, the sacrament of reconciliation is covered by the seal. And the seal of confession is upheld by the Code of Canon Law, which in the United States of America is also protected by the Constitution. No exceptions. It's absolute because the priest doesn't own what's confessed in the confessional. He's in persona Christi, or in the person of Christ, and it is Jesus in the priest that you are confessing your sins to. Remember video number 1, and if you haven't seen it, please see below. But we talked about the first power that Jesus gave, maybe the most important power, was at the resurrection. When in John chapter 20, verses 22 and 23, he bestows the power of forgiveness of sins upon the apostles. So there are no exceptions. Meaning, what if a priest hears the confession of murder? Well, in fact, it is sealed by the sacrament of reconciliation. It doesn't matter if the police come and interview him, he won't reveal it. It doesn't even matter if he's dragged before the courts, he will not reveal it. If his bishop or other priests ask what was confessed, which they wouldn't, he would not reveal it. Even if the Pope inquired, which he wouldn't, he cannot reveal it. And so it's protected, sealed by a divine seal. Or how about the abuse of others, even those who are vulnerable? Again, the seal of the sacrament of reconciliation protects the confession of even those sins. If a priest were to reveal it, he would be excommunicated from the Catholic Church and lose his priesthood. And so it's not a counseling session where there's mandatory reporting, but it is rather a sacrament given to us by God. So there are no exceptions to the seal, and priests do not break the seal of the sacrament of reconciliation and the confession of sins. Rather, throughout salvation history, we find just the opposite. So for example, Saint John Nepomucen was the confessor to the Queen of Bohemia in the 1300s. The king came and wanted to know what the queen confessed. St. John refused. They tortured him for weeks, and when he still refused, they bound him and threw him into the river where he drowned. He is a canonized saint and a martyr for the seal. Then you have Saint Mateo Correa during the Mexican persecutions. Again, the civil authorities tortured him brutally, trying to get him to reveal the confessions of those they were inquiring about. He was executed by a firing squad. Or how about Saint Felipe Puig, who was a priest during the Spanish Civil War? Again, imprisoned, he heard the confession of those who were imprisoned with him. When the civil authorities came and again tortured him brutally, he refused to reveal anything. And so he was executed as well. In all of my study, I have never found one example in salvation history of a priest who did reveal the sins of those who confessed to him. But I have found many, many, many more examples of those who took those sins to their grave. Because it is protected by God. It is a sacred sacrament and a sacred, sacred seal. And so to end, I just want to invite once again all those who have been away for a long time. No matter what you've done, no matter how dark it may seem, no matter how many times it's happened, you can be forgiven. And you don't need to worry about being judged, because those sins are sealed in the sacrament of reconciliation. And the sacrament of reconciliation is not about law. It's not dangerous to society. It's dangerous to sin. And it's about salvation. The salvation of your soul personally. And I promise you, if you come, you will feel more forgiven than you ever have in your life. Allow God to give you your life back. As Jesus said, he came that we would have life and have that life to the fullest. And having life to the fullest means being forgiven. So waste no more time. Return to the sacrament of reconciliation and experience God's unfathomable mercy for you. What he forgives, he forgets, and it's destroyed in the fire of his eternal love and unfathomable mercy. Return and experience that merciful embrace. I'm Father Justin Waltz, and this is The Awakening.